You're listening to TKK 89.5 North Star FM Radio. Tatak K, radyo kaalamang pang-modular. Magaan na sa buhay, madali na sa pag-aaral. Broadcasting live from the city of Dasmariñas. Good morning, Cavite. Good morning, Dasmariñas. And good morning, Grade 5. Welcome to your radio classroom. It's Thursday, April 8, and this is Mathematics 5 on air. And I am your math teacher on air today, Ma'am Jen Fausto. We will be together for 10 minutes and I will be assisting you in understanding your lesson. I will be guiding you in answering the exercises in Mathematics 5. I can imagine the smiles in your faces. So if you're ready, gear up, grab your modules together with your paper and pen. But let me tell you first of what your module has. Are you ready? As we start quarter 3, we will be discussing about the following. 1. Visualizing percent and its relationship to fractions, ratios, and decimal numbers using models. Number 2. Defining percentage, rate, or percent, and base. Number 3. Identifying the base, percentage, and rate in a problem. After going through these lessons, you are expected to visualize percent and its relationship to fractions, ratios, and decimal numbers using models. You will also learn how to define percentage, rate, and base, and identify the base, percentage, and rate in a problem. So let's start. Open your modules to page 3. How many squares are there? Yes, there are 100 squares. How many are shaded? I heard you said 64. And that is correct. There are 64 shaded squares. Now look for Learning Task 1, Pre-test on page 3. Let us write a fraction, ratio, decimal, and percent for the shaded parts. Let's start with fraction. Since there are 64 shaded squares out of 100 squares, in fraction, it is written as 64 over 100. Write that down in the table. What about ratio? You have learned about ratio during the second quarter. Can you help me write it in ratio? If you said 64 is to 100, good job, you're correct. Now get going. How about in decimal? It's 0.64 or 0.64. How did we get that? Well, we divide 64 by 100 or 64 divided by 100. Or you can just write 64 as a whole number, then move the decimal point twice from right to left since the denominator is 100. And there are 2 zeros in 100. And you will arrive to 0.64. You're doing great, grade 5. In percent, how do we express the shaded part? Percent means for every 100. Yes, you heard me right. It is a shortened word for every 100. To change 0.64 to percent, move the decimal point 2 places to the right. So what happens now to 0.64? Yes, it becomes 64. Now don't forget to affix that percent symbol. That's the slash with a small circle in the upper left and another in the bottom right of that slash. Alright, we're done with task 1A. Now whoever said math is difficult? Now class, you will have to answer task B on page 3. But that will be after this broadcast. In Learning Task 3, you will need to fill in the table. Refer to the figure on your left. You may start counting the number of the figures, the pencil, book, and flower. Let's do this quickly, grade 5. There are 50 pencils, 30 books, and 20 flowers. Do we have the same answers? Very well. If we do, then we can write them now in decimals, then in percent, and then in fractions, and then in ratio. I will answer number 1 or the pencil. Write this down. In decimal, 0.50 or 50 hundredths. In percent, 50%. In fraction, 50 over 100. And in ratio, that will be 50:100. Did you get that? Now do the rest in your paper or in your answer sheet after this broadcast. Moving on to page 5 of your module, Learning Task 3, letter B. Here, you are asked to match column A with column B. But I will not make that difficult for you because I will answer it now. Hold on to that ball pen, and here we go. Percentage, it is a part of a whole. The answer is letter C. Rate is the number with the percent symbol, and that's letter B. And lastly, the base represents the whole or total, and that's letter A. You like that, didn't you? Now you have to do letter C on your own. I know that you have learned about rate, base, and percentage, yet you have to write that by completing the statements on page 6. And do learning task 4, A, B, and C. After you have answered them, you have completed week 1 of quarter 3. Congratulations! It's fun learning math, isn't it? And you have done an excellent job today. Bye-bye for now. This has been your voiceover teacher, Ma'am Jen Fausto. Join me again next week with another fun learning activities in Mathematics 5 here on TKK 89.5 North Star FM Radio. Tatak K, radyo kaalamang pang modular. Magaan na sa buhay, madali sa pag-aaral. You may want to send me some feedbacks on how you're doing in our class. Message me at 0935-4368-794. I'll be very glad to hear from you. Happy learning!